Doing, everybody? This is the Big Vito brand going to you live, baby, live. That's right. We have just me. We're waiting on some peeps right now. I hope everybody's doing well. I know Noelle is in the chat. Noelle, can you voice yourself from beyond, please? There is Mr. Virtue.
Up.
Mr. Virtue, we are already live, and thank you for showing up today. We greatly appreciate it. I know you've been busy. I know everything has been, kind of like up in the air, but congratulations to Mr. Virtue because he's taking the big step into matrimony, partnership, togetherness, love. I mean, living in Cleveland, the Indians, the Guardians, the Pacers, the Knicks. Let's not mention the Lakers. Mr. Virtue, welcome and congratulations. How are you doing and what the hell's going on, my brother?
We're doing good. It's only the day after, so it's
You're
and
still
it's right,
in the glow?
yeah.
Still in the glow.
Wedding planning's going on in one brain, and this brain it's probably not going to start until after the first of the year, after the holidays. I'm sure you know how that goes.
No, I know. It's funny. You know what I'm talking about. Like, I know, guys, this isn't our regular show, but we're going to talk about life right here. It's funny. Like you do something big in your life, and it's the greatest thing, and then you have the day after, and then you're reflecting, and you're still happy. You're still, wow. I got a whole life in front of me. I got things to look forward to. My future wife and I are planning some stuff, some exciting stuff. I couldn't be happier for you. I mean, you went through a lot of good stuff, a lot of stuff in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You got to this point, which is something great. Hopefully you'll be able to add to your family and make it a very happy place. But we're going to go into a little bit of wrestling right now, Mr. Virtue. I hope you don't do the Adam Riff thing and post pictures of your cats, your dogs, lifestyles in Cleveland, being cold every day, sitting next to a heater. I mean, Michigan life. Has Aaron Riff gotten out to you and did anything special for you?
He congratulated me online based on what just transpired the last 24 hours, but that's it. I mean,
he didn't send you a fruit basket. He didn't send no champagne. He didn't, kumbaya, no wedding crasher videos like I would do, nothing, right?
No, because he's too busy with his woman, right? He's got to manage that relationship outside of the website. So he doesn't have time to be. I'm sure he'll be at the wedding.
We hope, but guys, we're really talking marriage stuff, and I've been kind of mentoring Mr. Virtue here on the ways of the world and how to get places and what to do in your relationship. And the 3 shows I told him to watch were the 3 shows I based my marriage on, and it was Marriage Boot Camp, it was Cheaters, and it was Maury Povich, right? So those are the 3 things I based the marriage on. I said, well, in Cheaters, I, always root for the bad guy. Always deny it to the end. Say, no, man, no, just keep sticking with it. It is what it is, and it was what it was, man. Baby, it's not me. It's the imposter. It's my stunt double, right? And on Maury, just in case you get it, somebody comes out of the blue and say, Virtue, he impregnated me. I can't believe it. And you say, Virtue, you are not the father. And you'd be like, okay, that's cool, right? And then on Wedding Boot Camp, Marriage Boot Camp, this was a big thing for me, right? And Mr. Virtue, I instilled this in you. Always watch that show because you never want your relationship to be that. And I think that's the biggest inspiration I can give to all the young people, all the people who are thinking about getting married, is that they don't want to have that controversy in their life. They want to live a peaceful life, a good life, a happy life. Noelle and I, we have on our wedding days, she got sick, okay? And then you say for sickness and health, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. Well, sickness and health came first. So what do you do? Do you stick by your mate? Do you leave them? You say, better or worse, I ain't sticking around for this shit. But nobody gave me a chance. And I always said, you don't leave your wingman. This is my wife. You take care of her. You do what you got to do, and you make good, right?
Yep.
Now, in your case, right, your lady has had her medical issues, and she has successfully got through them, flying colors, happiness, doing good, everything's good. And here she is going to be your wingman, and you already have been, groomed, and you're ready in case of anything. Just in case something happens, you
Yeah.
already know how to handle it, which is a
Yep.
great thing,
It's true.
And I'm sure she shared with you some insight on what it's like to go through something like that, and it's very heartwarming. I mean, Mr. Virtue, I know
I've
right
had a
now you,
couple stints at the hospital and emergency room where
yeah,
I've
you
went.
did,
Yeah.
you did,
Yeah.
and you stuck by her, and you said, hey, it's trying on you, it's stressful. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the picture of you and your future wife, your bride, the one you posted, and you said she said yes, you could see the happiness and joy in her face, and that was probably the greatest picture I've seen of the both of you.
Yeah.
And congratulations. And the way you proposed to her, that was pimp. That was
Clever.
good. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You buy a raffle, you hope you win.
We're tentatively looking at like spring of 2024 because we're
Right.
going over finances now and how we're going to handle that. So when we start planning, we can decide what to splurge on, what to cut back on. That's kind of like, and it's only the day after. So like she's ahead of the game. I'm going to be a little slower till the first of next year. Then I'll ramp it up and kick into gear. But
No.
that's what happens. That's how you deal with these things. That's how you figure it out. So it's all good.
Now, here's another question. Now, I know Miss Leslie has a big family.
Yeah.
So are you guys planning on a small wedding or a big wedding? What's the
I
first
don't think.
analysis?
Yeah, it's not gonna be like it's not gonna be like one of those wedding crashers weddings. It's not gonna be a small wedding. So I think we're gonna try to find somewhere in between where we can still have the opportunity to have a lot of guests or invite a lot of people, whether they can all make it or not.
Right.
So it's. I mean, can I say middle class wedding that's still really
Yeah.
nice? Is that a thing?
Yeah. Middle class wedding.
That
That's
that
good.
that that's yeah. I don't even know if that's a term or not for that, but that's what I'm gonna say.
Middle
Yeah,
class wedding. You're not going for the country club wedding.
no,
You're
no,
not going for the $20,000 wedding. You're not going for the mac and cheese wedding. You're in the middle. You're in the middle,
yeah, yeah.
which is a good thing.
I don't even know like what wedding averages and stuff are these days for different
Well,
states. So
it goes by.
and what pulls them up is expensive weddings that rich people have pull those averages up.
Yeah, but you figure, right? If you pick a good caterer, right, a caterer that you have a preference to, right? If you pick a nice place to have it, if you're going to do it in a Legion or something like that, or a grand room that you're going to rent for the evening, if you're going to have open bar, that's something different. You know what I mean? And that's what the open bar, I paid for the extra hour for the open bar. And plus, I knew the
Mhm.
guy at the thing, and he gave me a few extra, he gave me time. But when you talk about our wedding, we had a great wedding. We had a good time. We had a good DJ. We had some really good people there. It was a lot of fun. And that's what you want to have. You want to have a lot of fun on your wedding day. That's
That's
what you want
true.
to do.
I mean that's the most important thing. And like I said, you don't want to stress about finances
No.
and all that stuff. So that's what the planning process is for, and figuring out how funds and stuff like that. You meet in the middle. That's why I say middle class wedding. But it could be a middle class wedding could still feel like an upper middle class wedding if you do it right.
No, I tell you, hey, if you're spending 10 grand on your wedding, let's just say 10 grand, right? 10 grand over a year, putting a little change in a jar, you're doing little things to save, cut here and there, you'll make it. You'll do good. And you'll probably wind up having a little bit more elaborate wedding because you'll add some things that you want.
Yep.
Did you decide on a honeymoon place?
No, but like it's going to be somewhere nice. So yeah, that's part of the budget as well.
Vegas is beautiful.
like it could be anywhere not in Ohio. So yeah, it's gonna definitely be in the 48 United States. Like just because Leslie wants to make sure she's around her, the hospitals and stuff. Though we don't want to go into any foreign soil, exotic
No, you
foreign
want to
soil or
stay
stuff
low. You
like
want to
that.
stay
Yeah,
here.
yeah. But
You know,
but like when I say here, California, Florida, I mean, tons of options.
you could always do the Disney honeymoon thing. You can go to Vegas for a honeymoon.
Hmm.
Um, you can go to the Holiday Inn and do the cheapo honeymoon and hit buffets. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but it's your day, it's your honeymoon. It's something you guys are gonna remember. It's an awesome thing, and a lot of people have to take in consideration. Now, when the things you want, you did on the first one, you don't want to do on the second
Oh
one.
no, no, yeah, no. This was definitely going to be different than that. No question asked.
No questions asked. So
And if
you're
I got
gonna
to sell a few things to make it a little more special, I'll do that. There's trivial stuff I don't need, Vito. We could make this a very, very, very memorable occasion. So again, it's
so
the day after, so we
it's the
got
day
plenty
after
of
now.
time. The day after the proposal.
Now, the thing I did for my guys as your groomsmen, right? Just to cut costs, I said, guys, I will buy you ties. Everybody wear your favorite suit, right? So I
Yeah.
bought real good ties for them. Everybody came, and I surprised my wife because I said I was going to wear a suit. What did I show up in? A tux, right? Because I
Yep.
said, you know what? I'm getting married, yo. I'm gonna rock a tux. And she couldn't believe it, right? I
Yeah.
said, it was $125 well spent, and these guys gave me the extras. You know what I mean? And these guys knew me, and they said, "Vito, we got you, man." I mean, from shoes to sock to everything, it was awesome. So that's another thing to cut costs. And then you buy your groomsmen. Have you thought of a bachelor party? Let's see the bachelor party or a best man. Who do you got in mind? Do you have anybody in mind?
Yeah, but like there's no reveals on that yet. But yeah, I definitely have somebody in mind. Somebody that I kind of slighted last go round. So
So you got to make good on this one. It's
yeah.
going to be a great bachelor party. Now I know you're not. I know that you're not a carouser, but you go out and have some drinks. You go out and
Oh
have
yeah.
some dinner. Maybe go to a dance club, have a good time.
Yep.
That's what
It's
we
fair
did.
game.
You know what I mean? And that's the proper way to go out. I think it's passe, wouldn't you say, to have um, the hoopla of a bachelor party with girls and strippers and all this kind of stuff? I mean, what's your take on that?
It can be like that, but it doesn't have to be like that. Or you can have like a little bit of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not like there'd be no issues with any of that around here if that's what we have to have on my end and on her end. We would, have fun, have fun. It's just a party. It's more those to me are more fun for the bridal parties and the other people,
Right.
right? So
So,
yeah,
Mr. Virtue, can we say that there will be no strippers, right? But if somebody happens to send you somebody from midget.com, you would entertain it.
why not? Yeah, that's because that's no threat, no threat there.
No threat, no threat.
Nope.
We have some people in the chat who are saying, I'm getting married. Vito's the man. Go God, the bachelor party. Somebody's getting married in January. Congratulations. It looks like no lipstick. Lipsticks is not in Staten Island no more. That used to be a favorite place of mine. Um, how many people do you know besides myself who now had one but two bachelor parties? Virtue, do you need two bachelor parties in this era of getting married?
For the same wedding or for people that have had different weddings?
Not for the same wedding. Do you need,
Never heard of more than one. No, never
I
heard
had
of
two.
anyone.
I had to
Did
go
you?
out
Yeah.
strong, son. I had to
If
go
I had
out
to guess,
strong.
that's who I would have picked. Yeah, I don't even know if Aaron Rift had a bachelor party, to be honest with you. Although, he had two weddings, right? He had
Yeah.
a first one that didn't work out either. And gosh, I think he told me the figure that he spent on that wedding. And I can't, I'm not going to say it, but man, Vito, if you only heard how much he spent on his first marriage's wedding that did not work out, you'd be like, no wonder he pays people so low on his website.
So here it is, guys. There have been so many people who've gotten married over I'll give the last 15 years. Okay, that's a good
Mhm.
average, who have spent 30 to 40 to $50,000 on weddings.
God,
And
oh my
then
God.
they are divorced in a year, then wind up getting remarried the year after. Go figure that, Mr. Virtue.
Like I almost bet the national average is probably like 20, and that's because, or 25,
Right.
because the higher end ones pull it up. So man, like I said, it comes, you do your homework, you put everything together on both parties, and you pick and choose the right things. You might splurge here, but you have other ways you cut costs, and that's how it is. The partnership starts before the marriage.
No, you're right. You're right. And you got to
So
do things. And I know she is so excited, and I know that she's probably already looking. You know what the best part of the having a wedding is? And
what's
guys, I
that?
want everybody to listen to this.
The I do's? No.
No, not the other. It's to before the wedding.
Hmm.
Is to go taste testing at all the different restaurants
Oh
where
yeah,
you're gonna have your food get catered from, right?
yeah.
So you go to these things, and it's like getting a free meal, but you're having fun with your future wife. You're going to eat different foods. You're tasting different things, and I think that's a great thing to do, and that's one of the fun things to do when you get married. I mean, do you
Yep.
guys have a couple of caterers in mind who you'd like to cater the party to?
I think we do, but we haven't like even discussed that yet. But that's what you just suggested is what's going to happen for sure. I mean, I'm never, unless it's somebody like one of her friends that's already willing to do the wedding invitations as a gift.
That's
That you
awesome.
check, that you check the box. That's going to happen. The other
Okay.
things you're going to pay for, you taste test, you sample like you suggested, so you can get your best bang for your buck and be satisfied. And I think that's where we're at right now. There's no, hey, we're going to go here as a
Right.
possible caterer here, like that. It's the day after, Vito. But yes, that's part of the experience.
It is. I mean, and now as far as your groomsmen, how many people do you want in your wedding party? Are you looking
It's
at
contingent on her. Like I said, I can match the groomsmen with how many you need. So
right?
it could be 6 counting the bridesmaids. So then I'll have to come up with my best man plus a total of 6.
Right.
So I'm leaving that up to her. And I said 5 is usually like an average number for
It
that.
is.
But if you need an extra or 2 because you can't make the cut, we'll match people up. So
All right. So here's another question for you, Mr. Virtue. Did you guys ever talk about having a theme for your wedding?
um she knows about though, like I had one on my last one that didn't work out, and
Right.
I'm not sure if it's a theme. I don't think it's going to be like a set in stone theme. It's going to be more of a general, like, hey, let's have a Palm Beach theme. First,
Mhm.
we're going to pick characters from Disney.
Right.
That's kind of, it's a possibility, but I don't think that's going to be an end all be all thing.
No, I get you. I get you.
I think
I
the
mean,
theme is let's have a nice is going to be the theme. You know what I mean?
no, I get you, man. I get you. I think it's it's an awesome thing. It's a great thing in your life. It's probably one of the
Yeah.
biggest things you'll ever do in your life. I know she's excited.
Like
I
it's
know
not going to be a wrestling theme, like, and
thank God.
Aaron Riff probably wanted that, and Caitlin was like, "No, we're not
Definitely
having the
not.
wrestling theme wedding."
Now, you know what? And
By the way, my first one was, and Noel will laugh about this. It was Beauty and the Beast themed,
really,
and
Beauty and the
let's
Beast.
be honest. Like I'm going to be honest with you. Like I was the Beast, but in reality, I was the Beauty.
Yeah.
I was the Beauty.
Noelle is sitting in the
The other
chat.
one was the Beast.
Um, Noelle is saying in the chat that she wanted to do the Beauty and the Beast, but V wanted to be the Beauty, so couldn't do that. It was true. But hey, this is something to
I mean,
look forward to. Go ahead.
I believe that you had 4 billion groomsmen, like for sure. You had to have an entourage.
I did have a bunch of my guys. I had,
I believe.
let's see.
That.
Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, six guys. I think 6 or 7 guys.
And that's the thing. I'm doing it contingent on how many I need to match for her. So she
Right.
could have 5, 6, 7. Well, then we'll have 7 more.
So let's get to the nitty gritty. Does she have 7 eligible bachelorettes, non-married girls, or a majority of her friends married?
Her sister will be married. Her best friend will be married. It's going to probably be a split. It's probably going to be 60, 40, but I don't know which way it'll be 60, but Yeah, I think so. Some of them are married. Yeah.
So it's going to have some married ladies coming out, putting out their best. They're going to start their diets tomorrow and get all this done. They're going to get ready for the virtue wedding. This is like an awesome thing, an awesome thing.
And like I said, it's, we could go a year from now and do it in 2023, but like we're just financially trying to make it smart decisions. And so right now we haven't set a date, but we're looking at spring 2024.
So what was Dad's reaction? Was he happy? Did he
Oh, he's like,
cry?
about time.
That's it. That's about time.
Yeah, he was about time, and he keeps calling her the future Mr. Southworth now. Yeah, the future Mr. Southworth is what he's calling her now. Her Mrs. Southworth. Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you something. We have somebody in the chat who they said out of curiosity says, you won't you no, this is the truth. There's a Disney going on. There's a Disney wedding happening coming up soon. The guy invited me. He has no family coming. I am going to this wedding to stand up for his family.
Nice.
Right. So I got invited to a wedding. I said, yeah, I'll come to your wedding, man. So my wife and I are actually going to a wedding to stand up for this gentleman. And a great thing. And I love weddings. I think weddings are the best parties. You see everybody happy, you see everybody dancing, you see everybody doing good. Now, pick of music. Are you oldies? Are you dance group?
It will have a mix of everything. I mean, we kind of both grew up with 80s and 90s stuff.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, it's going to be a good blend, a good mix to try to cater to everybody. I mean, could we put some oldies in there? Yeah. I mean, when we do the dances, you're going to play the hokey pokey. Everybody does the hokey pokey at a wedding.
The wobble. You need the wobble.
Yeah, the electric slide. All the traditional stuff will be in there. Yeah, yeah.
The chicken dance. I'm talking. Then we got to get some, Chub Rock Jones in there. To get everybody's disco moves going.
That new stuff, I wouldn't have a clue. Whatever the new hip stuff is, like I wouldn't have a clue about any of that. But
no, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm doing a run-in.
Uh-oh, hold on a second.
I'm not getting on the mic because I'm not made up, but Wrestling Fun Dad is in the chat. We're going to his wedding. He doesn't have anybody to stand up with him as a best man, but he didn't want to overstep his bounds. And I said, Vito will stand up for you as a best man. So I said, will you stand up for him as the best man at his wedding?
I have just been notified that a gentleman here does not have a best man. And he just inboxed my wife. He said, would I stand up?
Right now.
And I know I'm saying, I don't want to give his name out, but he said, he doesn't have a best man. And yes, I will come and I will be your best man at your wedding. Thank you for asking me. It's a great pleasure.
Live right here on Getting Color.
Live right here on Getting Color. I have been, and you know what's great? I've been made a bride again. How many times have I been brought to the altar here? I can't believe it. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Congrats.
Thank you for the honor of being your best man. I greatly appreciate it. I'm sure it'll be a fantastic wedding. I'm glad I could help you and be part of your great day with you and your wife. It's my pleasure. Ain't that something, huh? It's something, huh, Mr. Virtue? You know what I mean?
Dude, 23 minutes and we haven't talked wrestling. Are we going to throw a topic or two in here at least?
Let's throw the topic. I know you were busy today, so you didn't give me the standard text.
Dude, I didn't give you the standard text because I was already knowing we were going to cover some no DQ topics from the review last week because these topics drew some attention for us. So I wanted to make sure
go.
You got a chance. So right off the bat, Austin Theory cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase for the U.S. title, Vito, and loses. I told you. Go ahead. You know what the synopsis, how it happened. Bobby Lashley accepted an open challenge from Seth Rollins. Theory came out, cashed in the briefcase, and next thing you know, he loses the opportunity by losing the match, and it wasn't even for the main title. Go.
I called this from the beginning. I said he was not going to cash in for the major titles. I said he was going to go for a lower title, and I also said he was going to lose. And once Vince McMahon left the podium, this kid's career has been on a downward spiral. What he should have did was cash it in at NXT because he would have shocked wrestling.
Yeah.
he could have been NXT champion and started his career
That would have been
over.
okay.
Yes.
And then they didn't do it. What was your thoughts about just him cashing in and being a filler opponent for Roman and then losing? Like, they could have done that and they didn't. So they must really want to reboot this guy or something.
I think they do, and I think that because of the exposure he had with Mr. McMahon, they have to get it out of the system. They have to delete it. They have to say it's a failure. He lost without Vince. He's got to come back with somebody that has some oomph. So you might see him come back with a manager. You never know.
Do you think that does it elevate the U.S. title at all that they try to use that to cash in on? And does it make Rollins look any better that, hey, I successfully stopped that cash in? Look at my U.S. title. This means something again. Because Roman's holding the other major belts. So are they trying to get the mid-card title seem more important? Or do you think it was just a reboot theory?
I think they had to get, excuse me.
Look, that's what he thinks about Austin Theory right there.
Exactly. I think they had to get the Money in the Bank off him and get it over and done with, because we are ending the year and nothing's been done. And every time, remember Otis when he had the Money in the Bank?
He lost it to The Miz, the opportunity.
Right.
And Miz did cash in and win, but remember, he only had it for a few days.
And it was like a waste, and I think they learned from their mistake. Now, nobody believed Otis was going to win, and he did this goofy shit that he was doing, right?
Yeah.
He got the Money in the Bank. There was no way they were going to put the major title on him. No way. Too much of a goof. So Austin Theory loses the Money in the Bank. Reboot. Let's see what happens. What else do we got?
All right, and then we're going to just talk about this because this really drove our numbers for the review this week. There's always rumors about people coming back for WrestleMania season, Stone Cold last year, and that's going to be a rumor every year now after he did what he did with Owens last year.
Right.
John Cena. Like, we were talking about this on the review, Vito. WrestleMania is 2 nights next year in Hollywood.
Right.
They very well could bring The Rock in for Roman. Another Hollywood movie. I mean, you got Dave Bautista and you have John Cena, who are Hollywood stars. I say if you're going to have a WrestleMania in Hollywood, even if they don't wrestle like Batista, bring him on board. Let him be like a special referee or an enforcer. I think John Cena at Hollywood turning heel would be a hell of an idea. He's never done that, and put your acting skills to the test. What is your thoughts on John Cena? People were very interested with this week or last week on the review, Vito.
I think if John Cena finally turned heel, he would have the Hogan effect of the NWO and shock the world. Right? So that's we haven't had that. Everybody's been expecting it. So if he does come out as the third member of the Secret Clan and he drops something, this would be the way to go. If it does happen in Hollywood. Dave Bautista said he doesn't want to get involved with wrestling.
But I mean, does that just he doesn't want to work a match versus, hey, show up and he was inducted in the Hall of Fame already, right?
Yeah. No, okay. I don't think he was. No, he wasn't.
Anybody in the chat verify that? But I'm saying, they love to show up just for that little like, hey, hi, wave, do something.
I think if he does come and do something, now that Triple H is in charge and Vince is not there, I think maybe they might do something. Otherwise, is there really a spot for Dave Bautista on the card?
So Big Baller G is saying no, he wasn't. I'm assuming he's talking about Bautista's not in the Hall of Fame.
Right, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
There's another opportunity right there. Maybe that's how you get him in Hollywood for that weekend. I don't know. Bring in all the big stars. Bring them all in, Vito.
Bring them all in, just like they used to do.
Like you have a big wedding, you bring in all your stars in your life for that celebration. WrestleMania in Hollywood. Bring them all in, Vito. Hey, anything on your mind? Obviously, we talked about wedding stuff and
what about AEW news? What's been going on in AEW?
Nothing.
Really quiet?
Just quiet. I mean, it's the same. Tony Khan acts like he has big announcements. Jeff Jarrett's there now, cutting promos, cryptically bashing the WWE, making fun of Braun Strowman and Triple H in one. It's the same old song and dance for AEW.
What about Paige stepping out from her match? Is there anything to that?
She's gonna wrestle. She says she was cleared. So I don't know what to say. All I know is if you've watched the majority of the women's matches in AEW, Vito, there's ugly things that happen in those matches. So I hope they're very protective of whatever she's going to do if she's physically going to get involved. Doctors have cleared her. So I think she's going to wrestle. What's your thoughts on that? Vito. Is Vito froze, people? Or is it just me? I see Vito. There's looking pretty there, everybody. So I don't know if I should close it or if I'm the one that is frozen. So let's do a quick reboot. Actually looks like Vito's coming back. So chat, like seriously, you think Paige should wrestle again? Vito's frozen, so I'm still live. It's like WWE doctors did not clear her, okay? They did Daniel Bryan, though, at some point. He wrestled again there before he left. Paige left injured from WWE. They obviously didn't clear her there. Now she's going to AEW to work, and I just see a lot of botches over there, and you get worried. So maybe if they can put her against somebody that works pretty safe, I'm all for that. So hopefully, if Paige wrestles sooner rather than later in AEW, it looks she's safe. The match can be good. She can do stuff for her opponent to protect her and whatnot. But I guess we're gonna have to keep our fingers crossed. So I don't know if Vito knows how to get back in the chat, but he's gonna be the one that has to close this, because I think if I X out of it, that it'll still be going on and you guys will be seeing a dead stream. So I'm just trying to keep it going, because this is Getting Color with Virtue from No DQ and the Big Vito brand. Obviously, Big Vito was here, and we are just waiting for him to come back. But again, I don't know. People in the chat, nobody's really saying anything that's going on. So there's probably some internet issues down in Florida. But hey, we talked about the wedding tonight. We talked about Austin Theory and what they had to do with him. We talked about John Cena and celebrities coming to Hollywood WrestleMania because it's 2 nights in Hollywood. Folks, let's see what happens. But next week on Getting Color, we'll make sure we bring Big Vito back. We're going to have our traditional 4 or 5 topics that we talk about, and we will go from there. For Big Vito LaGrasso, which you can follow him on Twitter at the Big Vito brand. You can follow me on Twitter if you'd like, at NoDQ_Virtue. This has been Getting Color right here on the Big Vito brand. Everybody, we will see you again next time. Good night.
Catch the Big Vito brand on Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern.